If your raised bed looks healthy on the surface but feels dead underneath, there's a simple fix that can completely transform your soil life, and it doesn't require expensive equipment or fancy setups. One of the clearest signs that your soil is healing, alive, and fertile is the presence of earthworms. These underground allies do more than just wiggle around. They aerate your soil, break down organic matter, and leave behind nutrient-rich castings that feed your plants naturally. But if you're not seeing them, chances are your raised bed is missing something they crave. The good news? You can change that today. All it takes is burying the right materials. Not only will this feed your plants over time, but it will also invite nature's best soil workers to set up shop in your garden. In this video, made just for you from the team at Soil and Crop Central, we'll show you exactly what to bury, how to bury it, and why this method works so incredibly well, so you can build thriving beds teeming with life from the bottom up. Why earthworms love buried organic matter. Earthworms follow the scent of decay and the pull of moisture. When you bury biodegradable material, you're sending out an open invitation. To them, it's food and shelter all in one. As they move in to feed, they tunnel through the soil, aerating it, digesting matter, and leaving behind castings, one of the richest natural fertilizers known to gardeners. But worms aren't just opportunists, they're selective. They want decomposing matter that's soft, moist, and easy to digest, not dense, dry, or toxic. So the key is choosing the right materials, burying them at the proper depth, and maintaining enough moisture to keep the system alive and welcoming. Soft fruit and vegetable scraps are earthworm gold. Banana peels, apple cores, lettuce leaves, cucumber ends, and melon rinds are among their favorite treats. These materials break down quickly and create a damp, nutrient-rich pocket in the soil that worms simply can't ignore. Before burying them, chop them into small pieces. This speeds up decomposition and gives worms faster access to their meal. But not all food scraps are created equal. Never bury meat, dairy, or oily foods. These rot, attract rodents, and create anaerobic conditions that repel worms instead of drawing them in. Stick with plant-based kitchen waste, and you'll avoid those problems entirely. To apply this in your raised bed, dig a trench roughly 6 to 8 inches deep. Drop the scraps in, then cover them with the same soil you removed. This keeps odors down, prevents pests, and helps moisture stay where it's needed. This simple method, known as trench composting, turns your raised bed into an in-ground composting system that worms love. And if you rotate your burial spots every few weeks, you'll slowly improve the health of the entire bed without ever disturbing the surface. Worms are surprisingly fond of cardboard, especially the soft brown corrugated kind. When it's soaked and buried, cardboard becomes a long-lasting, moisture-retaining food source that breaks down slowly while offering worms a cool, damp shelter. So to use this trick, you'll want to take uncoated brown cardboard, make sure it doesn't have any dyes or glues, and soak it in water for at least 30 minutes. For a 1 square foot piece, use around 2 cups of water. You can bury the softened cardboard flat under a few inches of soil, or if you prefer, just tear it into strips and mix it with other materials like food scraps. Worms often cluster around buried cardboard in raised beds, especially during hot weather, since the layers help regulate temperature and moisture. If you really want to go the extra mile, try lining the bottom of a shallow trench with wet cardboard before adding your scraps on top. It creates a perfect underground habitat, soft, cool, moist, and honestly, pretty irresistible to worms. Used coffee grounds are another excellent material to bury. They're gritty, rich in organic matter, and loaded with microbial life, the exact kind of environment that feeds worms and their microscopic allies. When you mix coffee grounds with kitchen scraps and bury them, decomposition accelerates, microbial colonies expand, and worms follow close behind. For best results, mix no more than 1 cup of used coffee grounds with a similar volume of fruit and vegetable scraps. Then bury the mixture 6 inches deep and water the area thoroughly with about 1 to 2 quarts of water to keep it moist. So, unbleached tea bags and loose-leaf tea, they actually work in a similar way. They break down pretty quickly, improve your soil structure, and become part of this living, breathing underground buffet. You can combine them with other materials, or just sprinkle them around a compost trench to attract worms and really boost your soil's health at the microbial level. Now, when it comes to decomposing leaves that feed for the long haul, one of the most underrated materials for attracting earthworms is decomposing leaves. Unlike soft kitchen waste that breaks down fast, leaf matter, especially partially rotted leaf mold, offers a long-term food source. It slowly releases nutrients while creating that spongy, moisture-holding soil texture worms absolutely thrive in. To prepare leaf mold, all you need to do is collect fallen leaves in autumn and store them in a black plastic bag, or just pile them up for a few months until they start to soften and decay. When they're ready, you can use them to fill compost trenches or bury them in the corners of your raised beds. This gives worms a stable food base and encourages them to build tunnels and castings throughout the surrounding soil. Moisture is everything. No matter what you bury, if your soil is dry, worms just won't come. Moisture is what actually allows them to breathe, digest food, and move around freely. After you've buried your materials, always water the area well. For each trench or buried pocket, you'll want to use at least 1 gallon of water to make sure that moisture really reaches the decomposition zone. Then, just cover the spot with mulch to trap that moisture in and keep the temperature stable. Want proof that this works? Try laying a soaked piece of cardboard flat on the surface of your raised bed overnight. By morning, if you lift it gently, there's a good chance you'll spot worms underneath. That's how fast they respond to moisture and shelter. Now let worms do the work for you. It might be tempting to till or mix the soil hoping to speed things up, but honestly resist the urge. Tilling destroys worm tunnels and fungal networks that are crucial for long-term soil health. Instead, bury your materials deep, keep the surface mulched, and let the worms take over. They'll till, fertilize, and structure the soil naturally, giving you healthier plants without all the digging. Once worms find a consistent food source in your raised bed, they multiply pretty quickly. Within a few weeks, you'll start to see signs. Castings on the surface, soft tunnels in the soil, and plants that grow faster, look healthier, and produce more. All of this just from knowing what to bury and how to bury it right. You don't need expensive gear, compost bins, or worm towers. All you really need is the right organic material, buried in the right place, with enough water and care to set the stage. Just pick a corner of your raised bed, dig a simple trench and fill it with chopped scraps, wet cardboard, coffee grounds, or leaf mold. Water it well, cover it with mulch, and step back. Let nature do the rest. If you found this video helpful and you're ready to let earthworms bring life back to your garden, go ahead and subscribe to Soil and Crop Central right now. And hey, share this video with a fellow gardener who's struggling with lifeless soil. Sometimes the secret to a thriving garden isn't what you grow, it's what you choose to bury.